Hi, it's Jen and Tammy back for the Woolly Mug Rug for May. We chose a beautiful purple coneflower. I had these in my garden. I love this flower. Now behind us is the table glitz for May. Of course, pansies for Mom. That's a separate download. Of course, different project altogether. Be sure to go to the Shabby Fabrics homepage, click on free download, and you'll be able to see the table glitz for all of it, the woolly mug rugs, and so many more projects. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel.
It's easier.
That way you'll see Tammy and I every time we
all the time.
Every time we get to hang out together, and more projects. So it's just fun to subscribe. Right. So rather than talking you through the preparation stages, we've done the woolly mug rug now on
a few times.
Yes. The preparation stage is the same. Correct. Because of the overlapping flower, I really recommend the applique pressing sheet on this one. I found that to be definitely helpful.
Very helpful.
So you'll have your wafer light box. I've got the wafer 2. I was using this with the table glitz, so I just kept it out. It's a nice size as well. So if you do tend to work on projects that are bigger than the wafer 1 light box, the wafer 2 might be a perfect size
it's a
for
nice
you.
Size.
This one is 17.5 by 12.5. Good size. I love that. And the applique pressing sheet is wonderfully helpful. Tracing diagram, layout diagram. Of course, you'll be using the tracing diagram to cut all your shapes out if you're going to be using the fusible applique in the back.
Which we did.
Yep. And I absolutely did that. So again, just to remind you how to use the applique pressing sheet with that is once you have all of your shapes already traced and cut out using the tracing diagram, then you'll be sliding down to the layout diagram, and you're building the flower, as you can see from this layer. You'd be putting those 2 petals down, these 2 petals down, these 2, that, your center, your bee wings, and your bee body. Yep. So that's how that all goes together. But the main thing is, Tammy, we want you to show us your awesome stitches.
The stitching.
And I see you have this beautiful thread, so I'm going to hand it over to you right now.
Okay.
To talk us through what you did to put this beautiful, and I love the variegation that you did.
Isn't that beautiful?
And notice this texture. Hopefully you can see that in the overhead camera. Well, I'm sure we'll get some close-ups. Looks like you added some texture and French knots.
A few French knots.
Because
I like French knots.
The purple coneflowers definitely have that texture.
They do.
They're very tactile. So I'm going to hand it over to you to show us how to do it.
All right. So to start our stitches, what I did after we fused this down is I whip stitched this with the wool threads, and you can see the 4 wool threads here. That stitch is on page 15 in the Creative Stitching book if you need to refer to that. I'm going to demonstrate how to do the chain stitch, and I'm using a large eye needle. This is a Sue Spargo Milner's number 1 large eye. I love that. You don't need your glasses to thread these needles.
And this is the variegated, yes?
Yes, the variegated.
I love the variegated.
Thread. I do too.
So
I love how it changes color as we stitch. So this is a fun stitch. So I'm going to come up right on the edge of the applique here where I want to start. And I'm going to hang onto my thread with my finger. Because this thread tends to be a little squirrely, and I want to control that thread. You have to be the boss of it. You can't let it just do what it wants. So I'm going to take it.
My kids used to say that. You're not the boss of me. Like, actually, I am.
Actually, yes, you are. Okay. So I come up a 1/4 inch ahead, and I'm going to wrap my thread around, and it forms this beautiful stitch, just like that.
Oh, I love that stitch.
Isn't that nice? So I'm going to hold my thread again with my finger, because I want that thread to be on my right. So I'm going to take a 1/4 inch stitch again.
Gotcha. So it's not just up and away, it's up and to the right.
To the right.
Okay?
Yes, to the right.
And the needle's always going to come up to the left of it.
Correct.
You do it again, I want to see it.
Correct. So I'm holding my thread to the right, down, and back up.
And guys,
like that.
When I'm seeing this for the first time, you know, we don't practice this ahead of time. So I am genuinely seeing that at the same time as you. And this is just so cool. I love that.
Isn't that fun? I love the way the thread changes color as you stitch. That is just so beautiful. See that?
I just enjoy
just like a feather.
This type of handwork, because when you're traveling somewhere,
it's so nice to take with you.
It passes the time, and you're creating something so beautiful. So that's the chain stitch.
That's the chain stitch. Now I'm going to show you a running stitch, and this is going to be our little bee trail right here.
It's so
cute. Okay. So we have our diagram, which is right here. And I can't see through the wool to trace this on there.
Right.
So I'm going to use a So-Line chalk pencil,
Okay.
which I love for drawing on wool. And I am just simply going to draw this. On your flight path, it's a bee, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just drawing your flight path on. This is a suggestion of where you're going to stitch, and it comes off the edge like that.
That's cool.
Okay, so I'm going to use white wool thread, which is right here that we have in the kit. And this is just a little Richard Hemming embroidery needles that we have.
And I've always thought about this with like the main pins I use for quilting.
Yes.
But this is good for this.
I love holding my
because
needles.
I lose needles.
I know, needles, you don't want to lose that in your couch.
No.
Definitely.
I've done that.
All right, so I'm going to come up on the very edge of this wool, and I'm just going to take a forward stitch about, a little less than a quarter, and then I'm going to come back up again and back down again and
look at you.
right back up again. See
You
how
just-
you're just
you
kind
do
of weaving that
multiple
like
ones.
that? Sure, you can do multiples. Now this is just a running stitch, and this is on page 26 in this
Okay.
book. All right, okay, and then I'm going to pull my thread through. You can take as many stitches as you want as long as you're always following
Oh, yeah,
your
yeah.
chalk line, right?
Good point.
So I'm just running along my chalk line. It's just a little bee path. It's
Aw.
not, and it's cute. Whatever your bee path looks like, wherever he flies to, it will be cute, I promise. There we go. See
These
that?
are so cool.
Just run a little running stitch right along there.
And it seems like even though you drew the straight line, solid, that as you're working where you didn't have stitching, it's just kind of fading away with your
does.
touch.
Yes, this chalk pencil does fade away very
Isn't
quickly.
that nice?
It's
Because
nice.
I was thinking,
Then
well,
I don't have to get that off of there.
Wow.
Yeah. I just need a suggestion of where
Okay.
my line is.
And then
okay?
I know for the stripes on the bee,
Yep.
that was just a back stitch, right? We've done that
It
one
was
before.
a giant back stitch.
Oh, you go.
A giant back
Oh,
stitch.
really? Did you
Yep,
go all
it's
the way
one
over?
one large stitch. So I just came up right behind the bee, right here, and I just simply took this straight across,
Oh,
just like this.
makes sense.
Now, if you want to do a bunch of little stitches on there, you could.
Okay.
You could.
Or
I
one.
just chose just
Go
to
for
do
it.
one. Yeah, it was very quick and very easy to do that. Okay? All right, and the last thing I have is I did some little French knots in the center of my
That's
cone flower.
right.
Okay?
I just love that touch. That
Isn't
just
that neat?
makes me want to touch it.
Okay, so you're going to come up, and I did a 3-wrap French knot. And French knots, if you have trouble with French knots, the directions are on page 104 in our book. All right?
Gotcha.
So I did a triple wrap, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put this right back down and pull my thread. Hang on to it, don't let it go. So when you pull this through, it lays like it's supposed to, and that white one's in my way.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do it again. So I'm going to come up. I'm going to do 3 wraps. I'm going to put my needle right back down next to where my thread is coming out. Slide your stitches down and then hold this tight.
Yeah, otherwise you
All
can
right?
get a tangled mess.
Otherwise it just wraps around itself. Yeah, it really is not nice. See that?
Wow.
Just like that.
You can put as many on there as you want it.
That's right. As many or as few. Okay.
You did it again, Tammy.
When you're finished with all your stitches,
Yep.
you're going to take your backing, which has your fusible on it, and peel the paper off. You're going to bond this together, and then you're going to do a blanket stitch around it.
Just like we've done before.
And they're finished. Yeah. just like that.
Fantastic. Thank you so
Cute.
much. Hopefully you,
Alright.
I can't wait to try that stitch now on some new projects.
Isn't that fun?
Thank you, Tammy.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Sewing with about 18 inches.
I know.
Do not take arm lengths of thread.
What
Which
happened?
part? The ladder. Kevin, you made me
I might not get it back for a while. Go get
Okay.
the chips and salsa.
Your videographer has made a mistake.